and actually guide me that. But one thing, I will share as far as being an entrepreneur, I was an entrepreneur in the States. And one thing I learned about myself there is that it was not easy working for yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
had to be progressive. You had to be steadfast. You had to be focused, or it's not just something together. It takes time, to really find your niche and do well and all this stuff. So anyways, I had so much optimism and positivity that I felt that no matter where I went in the world, I was going to be a success. And so once I started channeling my ideas towards the continent, I had zero doubts. Now with business, you have ups and downs. And so earlier when I was talking about, okay, we had an issue with the media, at the end of the day, any entrepreneur knows that our viewer is the market. Even if we're not selling anything, we're still kind of selling something. That is just what it is. And even if it's positivity, a smile every day, a breakfast shake, whatever it is, they're looking for this thing. And so whenever you have a bit of a glitch in the matrix, people get shocked and they're like, oh, what's happening? And so in my business, although it's not, a business like my real business, there were losses. There were losses from that, and they were indirect. It wasn't something that I caused. And so I had to sit back, and look at my life. And never did I ever say I'm going to quit. Never did I ever say I'm going to leave Africa. Never did. None of those thoughts ever crossed my mind. Never. Because I came with a vision. I felt it. I didn't feel like this business vision because I'm already an entrepreneur. So I knew that wherever I went, it was going to be a success because I don't give up. See? Yeah. So as far as those in the diaspora who are, kind of like, oh, I don't want to mess with that, it's not for that kind of person. It's just not. It's for those who actually sit down and think and strategize and plan. So no matter what you go through, you're going to push through. There's nothing that can stop you. Never. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. And so, I commend all of those who have, set sail on that migration, to the continent, wherever they've gone to do what they do. It takes a lot of fortitude. You can't be a give up person. A weak-minded person, and so one thing I want to say regarding, using the media for our businesses, because we don't have to do this, businesses still run. Mm-hmm. But with regards to this, I want to, share something with those out there who may be new to YouTube or maybe don't know about entrepreneurship and how we have to be careful about our competition, because you can't shut down other businesses. When we think about YouTube, these are different businesses. That's how I see them. So we had an issue where some of the other businesses wanted to smash on other businesses. And the thing about the real world in business, that's very problematic because you can create losses in other people's lives. And so when I see all these things happening, I'm just like, but I'm here in Africa. I still have to survive. I still have to do this thing. Okay. So my plan got warped a bit. So am I going to blame Africa for this? No. You create other avenues. That's what we do. We don't give up. But I saw this in my own life. Okay, I'm here. I don't have a crutch. You see what I'm saying? What are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Just keep moving, stay focused, stay determined, and just never give up. That is pretty much the whole point, as far as being here and knowing why I'm here. I didn't just come and say, oh, let me go spend a few weeks and maybe I'll do it. That's not my mentality. That's not eat, love, migrate at all. Eat, love, migrate is moving and going, you know what I mean? And we were supposed to be moving and going, but we decided to build, because that's what we do. We build and then we'll move on to the next and build. And so anyways, another thing I want to say with regards to like the youth, because people will say, well, there's so much poverty, here and there, and it is true in certain areas, but also I want to work on this with time. I do believe that it has to do with mind state and the conditioning within, these environments. If you're not in environments where you are influenced by, let's say, mentors or teachers, educators that introduce these new ideas, that there is more, but within your arena, within your neighborhoods, within your communities, You see what I'm saying? Like how my interest is like agriculture, permaculture, you know, getting into food forests and growing your food and all these things. I'm like, all of this is here, but it's not organized. There's no passion for it because they want to go do it somewhere else, or they want to go, you know, and get rid of all of these natural things and go, you know, sit in an office serving someone, you know. And I marvel at that, and I'm just like, but they're trying to come over here and do it, you know. Like they say the white people are doing this there. They're doing this. They're leaving their corporate jobs and they're going and they're organizing their lives and they're reclaiming their freedom and their independence by doing what you're doing. It's just more refined, you know.
That's
and
right.
so I think that's quite interesting. It's like, why not educate the children on cherishing and beautifying what they already have? Why do you have to go somewhere else to make someone else's things beautiful or to build someone else's economy? You know, why not have a sense of self-love, self-preservation, you know? So that's what I have for that.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You made a very great point when you said that the people live in so much wealth, but they can't see it.
Okay.
That's the greatest work as Africans, wherever we are. I think Africa's only problem is the ignorance that we have, but the treasure that we have. That's the only problem. Because the other day, a lady called me. She listened to one of our programs on radio, and she said that I've been able to start a business with 40 cities because I listened to you. 40 Ghana cities. And she said, when she said that, I said, how? She said that, oh, I just went to the market, bought some pepper, and put it on the table. People came to buy it, and now I've added more on the table.
That's right. There it is. There
See,
it is.
She heard us on radio. She's been having these 40 cities or more for years. But she heard it on radio that you can start wherever you are with whatever you have.
That's right. It's absolutely
You don't even have to have money. You don't even have to have the 40 cities to start that business on that table. If somebody believes in you, they will give you that 40 cities, or they will give you that pepper. When you sell it, you send the money back to them. Africa's problem has never been poverty, as they make us to believe. It's the miseducation, it's the wrong data, and it's not only with the so-called poor. It's not only with the people we call middle class, because they also have their problem where they are very happy working for multinationals when they speak English and they wear suit and tie, and they are giving loan to buy cars, and they are giving loans to buy some house. They think that they have reached somewhere. It's the same miseducation as the one on the ground. And I dare even say it's the same miseducation for the one who's up, who is trying to take everything that belongs to all of us for himself. So our only problem, I think, is the ignorance. It's never that another culture is far more better. No, I don't think so. I think that is in different shapes and different forms. We have to, but they have told us, they have equipped us with tools that can only argue in their favor. Therefore, we have weak argument. So for instance, you go to the village, a man has 2 wives. He goes to farm, he takes care of the family. The man probably is 90 years. And we will still go there and say that the man is living $1 on $1 a day, therefore he's poor. But this man does not even have, because he doesn't have a car, I will say, access to healthcare. But the man is 90 years. Which healthcare is it? Because living long and being healthy are 2 entirely different things. You have people who just live long, but they are not healthy. The whole system is artificial. So we have to have stronger, better system. But the education has weakened us. And I dare say the religion has also made us not so much confident in what we have as a people. So there's a lot that we all have to tell ourselves. That they say tribalism, for instance. Yes, it could be a problem. But we have lived together for all these years. So when you come, you have heard, tribalism is the same as racism. I say that's not true. You are ignorant. You say tribalism is the same as racism. Because in Ghana, the fact that you're in Dagomba does not prevent you from becoming a president. I can't say that because I'm a Santaman. Then it's not true. There's no system to pay you more than because you are a different tribe than me. We have our own biases. Even families have their own biases. But on the grand scheme, we see ourselves as human beings. We have never seen one group as animals or less humans. So there is a lot that you have to look beyond the reprogramming that you have had all your years in this culture. And I'm saying that it's not only in Africa, it's everywhere. So Mother Africa has been branded and promoted and handed to us as backward and poor. And all of us are going to battle with this all our lives, where every day there will be something that will tell you, this is it. We told you so. These people are this. This continent is poor. They are not enlightened. You know, they don't know. Every day, you have to reprogram yourself. And I'm sure that it's going to be a constant struggle all our lives, because it's been running. And so it's all of us is in us. So somebody does something to you, so we said it, you know, people, they are not transparent. You always find an opportunity to ascertain or to affirm that program. And that program is not strong everywhere. You know, so we have to now reprogram it. We have to be patient with the system. We have to be patient and launch. Yeah. And we have to share and train. We have to collaborate. We have to challenge a lot of the biases ourselves. Sometimes authorities, we really have to tell them, this is what we've been doing, and that's why everybody is saying. Because if Africa were promoted as England, I dare say that most of our African Americans all over or Caribbeans would have come here long ago. It is because Africa was promoted as backward and poor, uncouth, or civilized. That's why even when we are being killed in those countries, we still feel it's better. You know, that's why sometimes you hear, oh, I'm blessed. When I went to Africa, then I found how much I was blessed to be in America. How much I was blessed. You know, and they say that. I even read it in books, and it sank my heart when I went to Africa. But you forget that there are a lot of American companies here who are mining all the diamonds who don't pay even taxes. There are a lot of trade laws that have been set against ourselves. We've been told that don't go to Africa, go everywhere, but not Africa. Even our own people. That's why the whole family will be very happy when you get a visa. You know, so this is very strong. And if I'm a graduate and I don't find a job here, that's why I'm saying that, you know, I'm hopeless. I just have to do anything, cross the sea, cross the Sahara to get to Italy. And you go to Italy and the guy there is suffering. He's suffering big time. He's saddled in debt, and yet he still thinks it's better than that because of the program. Because if you program people in a particular way, that's it. And knowledge is light. Knowledge is light. Wherever there's darkness, when you shine the light, and the intensity of the knowledge that you have brings you freedom. You know, and you cannot separate a man from his identity and the knowledge that he possesses. And if a man has no idea who he is, anybody at all can tell him who he is and he'll follow. And that's how you keep people in bondage for years, because they don't know who they are. The moment you know who you are, you find freedom. And that freedom comes through knowledge, strong knowledge. So anybody who is trying to teach you that what you have is negative and backward and poor, what the person is trying to do is to destroy your freedom, destroy your identity. And you'll never be great if you believe in that. So those are the philosophies that we work with. And so when we are doing business and there are challenges from our workers or challenges from institutions or government, we understand it from this point, that our core is to make a little contribution in our lifetime. So we won't sit back and just complain. It is complain and negative when you look at the problem and you do nothing about it and you preserve yourself. If you see the problem, walk into it and make a contribution. Then you are right. But you just sit back and tell us all the negatives and you don't do anything about it. We don't want to hear that. If you see that there's a problem with the school building, what can you do? Don't tell me that is the government work. The government is already, you know it. All right. So what can you do as an individual? What inspiration can you bring? You know how many young girls see you where you are and they are inspired. We have no idea the future for these young girls because they saw somebody who is doing it. Not only young girls, young boys who said that somebody had an idea. It was a woman. And she was able to do this. That's a big standard that you have set for them. Somebody could have just gone there and said that, no, you know, this is Marcos people. I don't want to be associated with this. I preserve my interests. And then the same person will go and complain that the people are poor. But what did you do? Even if you didn't have money, did you teach them something? Did you share with them something? Did you learn something? So that's why I'm saying that when they continue to say that we are backward, it's because of lack of information. It doesn't matter their status. It doesn't matter. And we have doctors, lawyers, government officials who fall into this. There was a time that I was listening to this big preacher in America. Big preacher, he was teaching he's from Ghana. He was teaching in England. And when he picked the microphone, his example was, in our country, the tailor can just sew anything anyhow, and when you fit it, it doesn't fit. That's the example that he gave. Okay. There was another great business person from Ghana. He was talking to a big university in America. His examples were what? In Ghana, there are no addresses. My understanding at that time was these are people who don't know who they are. And so when they come in contact with this white system that runs the world, they crumble. So they come out with the negative examples. Okay, to feed the status quo that we have had all these years. And I can tell you, we have a lot of them all over, everywhere. A lot of them are even presidents. That's why when they don't need the money, they go to take, but they will still go and take them. Just to fill that hole that we are not able. That's why they will give the contract to another person other than themselves. That's why they will not equip their people. Why? Because they have no identity. They have no data apart from the data that they gave them. Which is, we came to colonize you, we took your slaves, we polished you, we gave you Christianity, we told you how to wear suit and tie and how to dance and have party. And what you can do is what? Is to sing. That's what that you can do. I've heard people say that some people's gift that God gave them is ability to create and innovate. But the African, God gave us the ability to sing and do sports. That's a lie. We are strong in body. We are strong mentally. We are strong emotionally. And as a matter of fact, we are stronger. And they have done studies now to prove all these things. Okay. The problem is the data that they gave us. Now we have to challenge this data, because any data that is making you weak, don't be objective with it. When you see the snake in your room, you don't negotiate with the snake in your room. You kill the snake. You don't say that, well, let's give the snake 50% chance, Those are not things that work. They don't work. You kill the snake. You go all out to kill the snake, because you cannot sleep with the snake. The snake will kill you. So all this objectivity, the so-called objectivity that they have pushing us, is to make sure that we never get up. So I'm not objective when it comes to Africa. I am very much positive and optimistic. And I focus on the good things, the few good things. And as a matter of fact, there are not few. So many good things that we can see if you have the right data and the right understanding. And that's how you build anything. So if you're here and you're going to build a business, you want to build any institution, you must have this kind of data, because that is where your strength is actually coming from. If I can shoot you to doubt yourself, you have no strength. And that's what we do. And it makes you more forbearing, so to say. You're patient. You can give people long time to grow and to understand themselves. And these are the things that we all must understand. So when people are just talking and putting Africa anywhere, I say that it's the information that we all have, and we all have a lot to learn. They have told us that we know much. When I hear people talk, I can tell you, at the risk of sounding like I'm cocky and proud, I can tell you that a lot of our people, all that they know is from the classroom. Okay? The class information cannot build Africa.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter if it's coming from Yale or Harvard or Oxford. That information, if it's like coming to Ghana to build a business and you come with the MBA, I can tell you it won't work. Why? Because the MBA model is built on somebody getting funding. After the idea has been tested, he can pull his credit card and go for loan, 5% a year or so. And if the idea works, he has investors that will give him money. In Ghana, I dare say we don't have those things. Financial institutions don't have. They will not even allow them to have anyway. So our interest rate 30%. Okay, and you are not going to find investors easily like that. And I'm sure that everywhere African Americans or everywhere Black people are, when it comes to power, which is money or business, because they know that if the more you're able to build wealth, these people are able to build businesses and develop products, they will be powerful. You can't control them. So they will make sure that your source of funding, they will put a lot of elements in it to kick you out. And I'm sure if you go to anywhere that the white system runs, and it runs everywhere in this world. When it comes to the black man, they will make sure that you don't have power, you don't have money. And that is true. And so when I bring the MBA here, and I'm going to build business with it, I can tell you that I will find job, not a business. You know, because it's opposite to what we know. It's entirely opposite. Much of it is something that if you apply, it won't work. Why? Because I don't have the so-called instruments or tools on those models. They use tools to build those models. They don't apply here. All right. And that's why the market woman, if she tries to use those models, her business will fail. If you go there and you advise the market woman go for loan, it's 30%.